Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most vital, most incredible places on our entire planet, the Amazon rainforest. It's a world wonder on a scale that's almost hard to imagine. And as you'll see, its health is completely tied to our own. You've probably heard the Amazon called the green lungs of our planet. And honestly, that's the perfect way to think about it. For more than 50 million years, this massive forest has been breathing life into our world, and its future is fundamentally linked to ours. So, to really get a handle on why the Amazon is so important, we have to start with its sheer scale. And believe me, the numbers you're about to see, they are absolutely staggering. Okay, let's just start with its size, 6.74 million square kilometers. That's a number so huge it's almost impossible to wrap your head around it. So let's try to put it in perspective. You could take the entire United Kingdom and Ireland and fit them inside the Amazon 17 times over. It is just immense. But its size? That's really just the beginning of the story. The Amazon is a true global powerhouse. I mean, think about this. It pumps out roughly 20% of all the oxygen we breathe. It's home to 1 out of every 10 known species on Earth. It holds up to a massive 16% of the world's freshwater. And get this, it's so powerful, it actually creates about 3/4 of its own rain. Incredible, right? You know, the story of the Amazon isn't just about trees and rivers. It's also very much about people. And to really understand this place, we have to talk about its most effective protectors, the indigenous communities who have called it home for centuries. This one statistic just says it all. Indigenous people make up only about 5% of the world's population, yet they protect 80%, 80, of our planet's remaining biodiversity. It's their deep, generational connection to the land and their traditional knowledge that puts them right on the absolute front line of conservation. This quote here, it comes directly from a couple of young Indigenous activists, Philippe and Hugo, and it just powerfully captures the enormous weight that's on their shoulders. They're not just fighting to protect their homes, they're trying to make the rest of us understand that their fight is our fight too. And this is where the story takes a turn. Because this paradise, and the guardians protecting it, they are facing an absolute onslaught of threats. There's this fierce conflict over the Amazon's resources, and it's getting worse, endangering both the forest and the very people who've kept it alive. This really lays it out in stark contrast, doesn't it? On one side, you've got all these life-giving gifts from the forest. And on the other, you've got the relentless pressures of deforestation, illegal mining, these horrible fires, and the endless expansion of cattle ranching. This fragile balance is, without a doubt, at a tipping point. And the scale of this destruction, it's truly alarming. We have already lost nearly a fifth of the original rainforest. Gone. The single biggest driver? Cattle ranching. Just last year, the Amazon saw its worst fire season in almost 2 decades. And then there's illegal gold mining, which is dumping toxic mercury straight into the rivers, poisoning the water and literally everything that lives in it. So yeah, that's a pretty bleak picture, but that is not where the story ends. Because in the middle of all these dire challenges, there is so much hope. So now we're going to shift from the problems to the solutions and look at the incredible, innovative work being done on the front lines to save this vital ecosystem. What's so amazing here is just how diverse all these approaches are. These are not one-size-fits-all solutions. They're community-focused efforts, built from the ground up. You've got programs empowering local economies, volunteer doctors hiking into remote areas, fire brigades that are focused on preventing fires instead of just fighting them, and active reforestation projects. From healthcare to economics to ecology, hope is being put into real action. And this brings us to the most crucial question of all. What can we do? I know it can feel completely overwhelming, but every single action, no matter how small it seems, it really does contribute to the solution. We all have a role to play in this. This is all about turning that concern we feel into real, meaningful action. And here are 5 concrete things that anyone can do. First, educate yourself and then share what you learn. Second, be a smart consumer. Think about where things like tropical wood actually come from. Third, reduce your electronics footprint. That shiny new phone needs minerals, and that demand fuels destructive mining. Fourth, eat mindfully. A more plant-based diet directly reduces the pressure from cattle ranching. And finally, you can support conservation projects directly. So, at the end of the day, the Amazon isn't just some faraway rainforest. It is the beating heart of our planet. It regulates our climate and sustains life way, way beyond its borders. So the big question for all of us is this:
How do we, as a global community, make sure that this heart keeps on beating? Thanks for joining this explainer.